All right. Hello, friends. Welcome to another Thursday of NapKim Math. We will be playing Balatro today and looking over some of the data on Saturday. So I'm so glad you're here. I always like to start the stream with one good thing. So let me know if you have a one good thing that you'd like to share. I have a couple of one good things, but I will start with my first one good thing, which was what I was planning on starting with, is that I got to Completionist Plus in Balatro last night. I finally beat all the decks on Gold Stake, and that's on my phone. So I was very excited about that. And I will say that I do have another one good thing that popped up today. I was invited to be part of a very awesome Twitch community by DC Zo, the DC Gameverse, and I'm really excited to be part of that. Everyone has been super nice, super friendly, super welcoming so far. So if you're watching this and you're part of that community, thank you for welcoming me so much, especially you, Zo. I really appreciate how kind you've been and how nice it is to make some friends. So I'm going to make sure to give a shout out to Zo. So please make sure to give him a follow. He's super nice and he has built this community from scratch to especially help like small streamers. And so I really appreciate the kindness that he's given me, even though he's never met me. So with that, we will dive into some Balatro. And for those of you who haven't been here before, I track my data and I am still tracking some manually in spreadsheets. I just do this game start and game end so that I can analyze it because, yes, I am a nerd. I embrace the nerdiness. And I've been building a mod, which I've been going through on Saturdays, that ties in directly to the game. So I'll actually switch back over to my Balatro screen. You can see the mods. I have my Jimbo's data that I'm using to write the data into CSVs. And that allows me to more systematically analyze it. And I'm excited about it. I'd call it version 1 because it does a lot of what I want it to do, but there's still a lot of progress I want to make. And I'm learning the Lua to get behind it and super excited that it's working. But there's more to come. So I think we're going to play more of the Anaglyph deck today. And we are up to green stake. So we'll track that. And then track our start time so that we can see how long these games are taking us. And then go from there. So I'll switch back to my Balatro screen because I forgot to do that last time for a little bit, and go ahead and get started. All right, so we do have a flush off the bat, and that should be enough to get us through in one hand, I believe. Yes. Barely made it. All right, so I'm gonna buy Hermit, but I'm not gonna use him yet. I'm gonna wait until we have some more money saved up to get his full potential. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get Green Joker just because Flower Pot is hit or miss for me. But in this game, you definitely have to play around the jokers that you are dealt. So I'm going to, at the same time, go for a straight and a flush, which isn't super helpful. But two pairs are not going to get us very far right now, which is why I was trying to get something of higher value. So we got our straight, and we'll need one more hand, and a two pair will be enough to get us through. All right, flush, credit card so we can go up in debt. Planet Pack or Arcana. I think I'll go ahead to the next round, try to save up some money. And then we can use our Hermit to get some more. I'm gonna go ahead and discard those. All right, we got a nice straight here. And I'm trying to use my discard sparingly because Green Joker, the multi will go down, but I want to make sure that I'm playing hands that I'll get enough value out of. So this full house should be enough. Alrighty, on to the next round. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and double my money first. So now I have $28. And I'm going to open up my Buffoon pack. Superposition, Square Joker. I think we'll get Superposition. And then Gluttonous, who has helped us through a lot of times when we needed a Joker. And for those of you who haven't seen Anaglyph deck before, every time you defeat a boss blind, you get a double tag. So that means that whatever you select, you'll get double of that. So if I were to skip to get a Buffoon tag, then I'd get 2 Buffoon packs. Which, actually, let's go ahead and do that to try and see what Jokers we can get. Alright. We can go ahead and we'll get To the Moon. So we get extra $1 for interest. And then I would get Riffraff, but it's not going to be super helpful, especially if I am getting another Mega Buffoon pack. So, alright. Pair, hand size, 3 of a kind, raised fist. So I'm going to sell Superposition, get raised fist. And I think we can get rid of Green Joker and get Jolly. All right, so we have a pair. That's really not that great. 3 of a kind. Go ahead and play that. I was hoping I would get a full house, but that's okay. Got through with 1 because of our raised fist. All right, Scholar. Parking. I think I'll pass on those. All right, because the last thing we used was Hermit. The Fool will give us another Hermit, which is very nice. I'm gonna go ahead and I always like to put my lucky cards on a face card and a non-face card, just in case. Then now that I've played that, I'll use the Hermit again and re-roll. Let's do High Priestess first. All right, Parent 2 pair, which is nice to level up. And got the Emperor. So I'm going to go ahead and sell the tower. I don't really want to use him. I'm going to wait until the end of next round because then my egg will go up and I'll get a little bit more money from Temperance. Now I say that, but I want to get Sock. And I think I might sell egg to get Sock. So I'll go ahead and use Temperance now. Sell our egg and get Sock. All right, another pair and 2 pair to level up. And onto the wheel. All right. So this is either 2 4s, a 3, so we'd have a pair there, or 5, so we'd have a pair there. Let's look at the suits. So because they're not hearts, they could be any of those. I'm going to go ahead and play those because we will have Raised Fist, which will get us plus 12 to our multi, Jolly, which will give us plus 8, and just see what we got there. All right. And I'll go ahead and play the 3 of a kind, and that should be more than enough. All right, Bloodstone is nice. I am going to go ahead and get clearance sale first, so everything is 25% off. Can spread my money a little bit further. And because of that, I'm going to sell to the moon and get Bloodstone. We'll go ahead and open up our Arcana pack, and I'm going to use Empress to get plus 4 multi on our Jack and our 10. And then pair 3 of a kind. Generally, I don't play 3 of a kinds that much, but we've been playing them a couple times. However, I'm going to keep leveling up Mercury because that will probably be better for me long term. All right, so we have Standard and Buffoon. So I'm probably going to skip both of those. Or not skip. I'm not going to skip to get to both of those. So we have 4 towards a flush. Let me get rid of the 2 and see what happens. All right, that wasn't exactly what I wanted. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my lower cards. All right, so we have a couple of varieties of 2 pairs. I'm going to go ahead and play my aces because I have the club for gluttonous, my jacks because they do have plus 4 and then lucky card, and see how that goes. Because we have leveled up our 2 pair a little bit. And that was enough. Yeah, 3 of a kind are really tough, and I never like trying to level them up too early. All right, go ahead and get my Glass King. And we are still pretty early, so I probably could have made Madness work, but with Bloodstone and Sock, I don't want to get rid of those. I'd rather wait and get him when I can have Eternal Jokers, and so he won't get rid of some of them. Right. We will eventually need to get a times multi-joker, but we don't need to worry about that yet. All right. We could get another double tag if we wanted, kind of, at least for now, like my joker lineup. Let's do the gold seal 2 with purple, or gold card 2 with a purple seal on it. All right. So we have a 2 pair. Get rid of those 2. I'm going to play this 2 pair first. And that was enough, because I don't like playing my glass cards until I have to, just because I don't want them to accidentally break. All right, what do we have coming up? All right, the eye, so no repeat hands. Holographic, double tag. We'll get blank. And clearance sale is nice because that means that I can buy a lot more with the money they're giving me. All right, we'll get Hermit. It's very rare that I pass up a Hermit. So I'm going to switch out Jolly for our holographic splash because that'll give us more multi and it'll work for all of our hands. All right, the Fool to get another Hermit. Get that money. Mo problems. All right. Of course it does this to me. Hanging Chad, of course. And then reserve parking, which would work better than splash. But I do think I am going to get rid of splash to get hanging Chad because gluttonous and bloodstone will both work pretty well with hanging Chad. So at least for now, I'm going to keep them around. All right, so we do have a full house, but we've leveled up our 2-pair enough where a 2-pair is better to play than a full house. So, hey Zoe, thanks so much for joining. I'm so glad you're here. I gave you a shout out at the beginning for being so welcoming to me as I joined the community. I really appreciate all the support you've already given me so far. You've built a fantastic community, and I am already enjoying being a part of it. We are playing Balatro. If you haven't played it before, you get dealt cards and you try to make poker hands to earn chips, and you get jokers that help you level up your chips. So it's a lot of fun math, and just I really enjoy playing it, and I like to use it to teach others about math. I don't do all these calculations in my head, so don't worry about that. Thankfully, it does the math for me. But I do like to, on Saturdays, I do go over some of the data that comes out of it. Like which jokers that I'm using the most and all of that. All right. So we do have a full house, but we've leveled up 2-pair more than full houses, so we'll go ahead and play the 2-pair. I'm putting my ace first because we do have that bloodstone. And one of the things that I mentioned earlier on in the stream is that I am working on a mod to automatically put the data into CSVs for me. Nice. Me when I'm playing blackjack in Schedule 1. Very nice. Occasionally it freezes just because I have a lot running on my computer at the same time. But those are all things that I'm working on. Yeah, I believe it. I was pretty sure it was frozen and not just me forgetting to click it. So there's blackjack in that game you were telling me about earlier. It does sound like a lot of fun. I'm gonna discard. All right, so we'll go ahead and play that. I probably won't get us through in one. All right, now we got a conundrum. Unless we get a nice hand next, we probably won't make it through. right. Yeah. So I think this is the end of this game, but that's okay. We will track it. So I'll go back over to my spreadsheet and track all this information. So I did tell you I like spreadsheets. So you get some spreadsheets when you're over here. And I've set this up so it has all the things that I can just put in automatically. Makes it a lot easier for me. There are some, like the scores that change every time. I do have to type those in, but at least this part, it's manageable. I was tracking like every piece of it, which was unmanageable, which is also why I started building my mod. But it is a lot of fun. So we were defeated by the big blind, had $29 left, and we'll go ahead and try again. Starting the game. To make it super easy for analysis, I do show how to analyze it in BigQuery, which use a structured querying language to run queries off of it and get some of those stats. But I'm also planning on potentially showing Python. And so that would be a little bit of a stretch because it's been a while since I've used Python every day. But it is a lot of fun. I am using some Gen AI to help me as pair programming. I dabble in code. I wouldn't say that I'm a programmer. By title, I'm a business intelligence engineer. So most of what I do is analyze data and get insights from that data. Yes, I guess you could say that I code. I am not a software engineer, but I do have a lot of fun trying to make things easier on myself. Thank you. Napping Ood is my husband, so I told him about you earlier, and that I was super excited to be part of your community. So I'm glad you two are meeting each other as well. He does not stream. He just comes and supports all my streams. My biggest supporter, fan since day one. So I very much appreciate that. All right. So we got a 2-pair, which we do have hearts on them. So let's go ahead and play that and see what happens. All right, now we have a full house. And that wasn't quite enough, but this full house will do it for us. All right. I'm going to go ahead on to the next round and see what jokers we can get. All right, so we'll go ahead and get Raised Fist again and Even Steven. You were just talking about creating a bot yesterday to one of your admins. The universe talking to have us meet today. I have actually never created a bot, but I am always happy to help try. It is something that I know is super fun, and I would be very happy to help try do that. I'm actually going to get rid of Even Steven and get Fortune Teller because we do have Cartomancer now. So we're going to get a tarot card every single blind, which will help build up Fortune Teller pretty fast. All right. I am going to discard. All right, 1 and 7 gets drawn face down. He is more of a gamer than I am, but I'll let him tell you what he likes to play. Let's see. Could that be a king or could that be a queen or an ace? I think we might have to find out. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use strength to make those 6s. So we get at least a 2 pair out of that. And we are good. All right. All hearts are debuffed. I'm going to go ahead and build up some money first because if you have $25, you get full interest. All right, that's a interesting wrinkle. I'm going to sell Fortune Teller and see what Judgment gives us. All right, an extra for hand size. So we'll go ahead and utilize that. So we have a 2 pair. Now we have a full house. We haven't leveled anything up yet, so we can go ahead and do that. But with Raised Fist on the 3, that's only +6. So it's not going to get us a ton of chips, but it might get us about a decent amount. All right, I'm going to get rid of these. All right, 666. I don't know if we like that, but we definitely want to get rid of them for Raised Fist. So we'll move those to the front because you can reorder both your what's left in your hand and the cards you play and your jokers. And you always want to make sure that I'm doing my plus multi first, so my times multi gives us some more chips. And go ahead and re-roll. Get some money from Temperance. I think I might pass on 6 cents, which may not make sense to a lot of people, but I'll go ahead and get that. All right, so we can make a steel card. I'm going to keep my 4s. I don't really want to use up all my... All right, so we have a full house. I'm going to go ahead and play that. All Alright, so now we have 4 of a kind. So we'll play that. We'll put our King of Hearts first, so he works with Photograph. Get rid of our 3. And that was enough. Alright, let's open a Spectral pack. We're gonna put a gold seal on our 10 of clubs. And let's see if there are any fun things we can get in here. Let's go ahead and get the gold seal jack. Alright. Cartomancer gave us the Wheel of Fortune, so let's play it and see. Nope. There's a 1 in 4 chance of it modifying one of your jokers to have a special effect, but a lot of times it does not hit. Well, 3 out of 4 times on average, it does not do anything. But that 1 in 4 chance that it actually does, that's the fun part. Alright, so we do have a full house. We'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and use Chariot on my 5. And I'm going to get rid of this, all of those. Alright, so we have 3 of a kind. I'm going to get rid of this because it's a red card, and so blackboard. If I get rid of that, blackboard will work. And I'm going to get rid of my 4 as well to optimize Raised Fist. Not quite enough. Go ahead and play those. And I should have put my non-debuffed Joker or Jack first, but that happens. It's been a long week. Thankfully tomorrow I have a half day at work, got a long weekend ahead, so I'm excited. Get some rest, get caught up on some things that I've been wanting to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn this 3 of Hearts into a multi-jack with a gold seal. And I'm going to pass on those. Alright, free foil, D6, so I'm going to play those. Alright, we got a full house, and that's nice because it gets rid of all of our red cards for blackboard. And we have a 2 pair. Let's go ahead and play that. Alright. So we do have a straight, but because we have blackboard, I'm going to go ahead and play the 2 pair and get my Jack of Hearts behind our multi-10 to get Lusty working, and also Photograph, and I'm also going to get rid of my 2, so blackboard will optimize our points, or chips. I always call them points when they're chips, but I think it's the same thing. Alright. I am going to get rid of Lusty and get Bloodstone. And I should have used Judgment before I bought Bloodstone, but that's okay. Yes, chips are delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and sell Judgment and get High Priestess to level up some of our poker hands. And I'm going to go ahead in this next round. The tower may not be super helpful to me right now, so I might sell him. Alright, so we got a lot of options. I'm going to go ahead and play our full house, and I'm going to put my multi-jack first for photograph. Feel free to ask any questions as we're going through it. I'm always happy to help understand the game and its mechanics. It's a very fun game, but I can definitely see how how it could potentially be difficult to follow. I'm actually going to use the tower on my Ace of Hearts so that I can get blackboard, because otherwise I think I might lose this hand. And I might still lose it anyways, but we'll see. Yep, another loss, but that's okay. Going to switch over to our spreadsheet. Brain's currently shutting down. Yeah, really? My brain is like, it's pretty much the end of your work week. You only have a half day tomorrow, so just shut down. Don't even think about this. All right. 480. Full house, which is interesting because I'm not usually a full house player. But that's also because I don't get them very often. 410, made it to the big blind, and then we're defeated. But we're having fun, so that is what matters. And oh, nice, you're off tomorrow? That's fantastic. Let's actually play Zodiac deck. We haven't played that deck yet, and that's a fun one because you start with a couple of the vouchers that make it easy to get tarot cards, planets, and you also have an extra slot. So let's go ahead and start that up. Copy paste my values so they stay instead of staying the formula. And all right, go ahead and play our small blind. Do you have any exciting plans for the long weekend, or just chillin'? I think I am going to get rid of those and see if we can get a flush. No, it did not want me to get a flush. So we won't get out of this in one hand. I should have kept my king around because then we would have had a flush. But hindsight is 20/20. Hopefully we get something. All right, there we go. Got us straight, got us through the first round in all four hands. So I use up all my discards trying to make it work. And of course, Constellation pops up, which is amazing, and DNA, which I cannot afford. Let me open the Buffoon pack and see if I can find a credit card. No, credit card is not in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get Blue Joker. If I hadn't have played all those hands, then I would have had enough to buy both of those, but it's all good. All right, so we can play this straight and retain our 3 jacks, but that was more than enough to get through. All right, hanging Chad. I have to get hanging Chad. All right, so we are playing the pillar. We have a 2 pair. I am going to get rid of those 3 since one is debuffed. I'll go ahead and I'm going to discard those, and we'll do that 2 pair instead of using up all our discards again. So now we have a full house, which I think may be enough with hanging Chad and blue joker. Yeah, enough to have one in one hand. All right, we'll get golden joker to get a little extra money. I like to try and build up to $25 so I can earn interest, but that obviously went out the window when I didn't get through in the first and 1 round, but that's okay. So we have almost a flush. Nothing really. This game just doesn't want me to win. I feel like nothing is happening that I want it to. There we go. All right, one of our lucky cards gave us plus 20, so that's nice. I'm gonna get a joker pack, and I'm gonna get hiker to help some of our cards get higher chips. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play 3 of a kind because I don't want to use another discard. All right, now we have a 2 pair. Now we have another full house. And our queens should get us through. He did at least play it once and he won a game. But I know that it's not what NapKim likes to play. So we have 3 of a kind. Go ahead and play that. All right, we have almost a flush, almost a straight, a pair. I'm gonna get rid of my 8 and 5. All right, so we do have a straight. So I'm gonna put my lucky card first, just in case he decides to grace us with his presence. Nice, he gave us plus 20, I think, 2 times, which is very kind of him. We're on to the next round. All right, we have Vestment, which I'm definitely skipping to get. Orbital, I'm not going to skip. Then we have the Flint coming up. So, I'm going to get our gold card. And then open up our pack and I'm going to get pair and 2 pair. I don't like leveling up both our pair and full house, or sorry, 2 pair and full house, just because I want to try to focus on things that aren't gonna take away from each other. All right, we'll get rid of those. So we have another 2 pair. I'm going to play that because we do have Mad Joker, which will get us some points. I don't think it'll be enough. All right, and then we have a 2 pair and we also have a straight. So we'll play our straight. And our lucky card gave us money and multi, which is very nice. All right. We'll go ahead and play the Hermit, get us some money, which is very nice because we definitely needed some. All right, we got Scholar and Joker. I think I'm going to get rid of Golden Joker and we'll go ahead and get Scholar since he will work nicely with Hanging Chad. And all right, we'll use the Fool to get another Hermit. And then we'll put the Empress on our Ace and 10. And go ahead and use that now. All right. So we have ice cream, which will end up melting and go away. A lot of the food-based jokers in this will disappear after a certain amount of hands or rounds, or even discards or cards played. So you always have to be careful with them. I think I will get rid of. I think I can get rid of Hiker and also Scholar and get 2 of the suit-based cards because they will work pretty good with Hanging Chad. All right, the Fool again to give us Hermit. I'll go ahead and use Uranus first, so that way if we find another Fool, we'll get another Hermit. Well, we'll play Wheel of Fortune. Nope. 1 in 4 chance where it works. I think we've played it twice today. Hasn't worked yet, but that's okay. And all right, another Photochad run. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Uranus, and then we haven't added any cards to our deck. Let's go ahead and we'll get rid of Mad Joker. Actually, let's get rid of Greedy to get Photograph. And we'll keep the rest of our money. All right. I am going to get rid of those. I really would like another face card or something. All right. And I am going to play the lucky card first just because we also do have Wrathful, so it'll get +3 and have the potential to get plus 20 or $20 from being a lucky card, but it was more than enough to beat that in one hand. All right, cards drawn face down after each hand is played. So let's go bananas and get Gross Michelle. Whenever I see Gross Michelle, I always think of Ooh David from Schitt's Creek, where they're like, "Ooh David," And so I always go, gross, Michael. I always call it Michael even though it's Michelle because it's, I guess, French. But I'm going to go ahead and I think we'll get rid of Mad Joker. And I sold him first so I would get the full money. Now I'm using clearance, so everything else is discounted. And we'll go ahead and get Mercury. See what's in our standard packs. Alright, so we do have a Polychrome 2, which re-triggers and will work for Wrathful. But we'll get our Jack of Spades because that'll work with Wrathful and Photograph. And I do want this blue seal to create some planet cards if that's still in our hand. I'm gonna skip those as well. All right. We only have we have 2 held in hand abilities, so I don't think mine is worth it, at least right now. Go ahead and get Death. To be able to create more cards based off the ones that we like. You can put them next to each other and it converts one to the other and can help with some of the deck building. I'm not as good at deck building as some of the other Balatro streamers that I watch, but I enjoy playing my type of game. Alright, we will go ahead and get those 2. And we'll move on to the next round. Alright, so we do have a straight, and I'm going to put my lucky cards, and even though our 10 will get the +3 from Wrathful, we do want to put our Jack of Hearts first for Hanging Chad. And Gurus Michel decided that he wanted to disappear on us. Alright, but that's okay. We get smiley face to go along with our photograph. I'll go ahead and get more lucky cards. Lucky cards are my favorite, and I don't know why. Alright, single random suit. We do have a lot of spades, so I don't want to do that. Random rank. We'll get 1 less hand size. Purple seal. And polychrome to a random joker. I think I'm going to use my purple seal on my 2, and then I'm going to skip the rest of the pack. And alright, we do have a 2 pair with a king that is spades, so that should be enough. I'm gonna put my lucky cards on my kings, and I'm going to convert my 3 into a king. And let's see, our 2 pair chips is higher than full house. Full house is 1 higher than 2 pair and multi, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the 2 pair just because if I want to eventually use something like Supernova where it's based off of what hand I play the most, or find... Do we have a telescope? No, we do not have a telescope where the most commonly played poker hand always appears in your planet packs. I want to make sure that I'm playing the ones that I want to be able to find. Alright, and what is our upcoming boss blind? Face down after each hand is played. So Matador is not going to work with that. Let's sell Blue Joker and get Card Sharp. So Card Sharp encourages you to play the same type of hand. So if you play 2 hands in a round, you can potentially get 3 multi if you play the same hand again. All right. So let's go ahead and play 2 pair and save our discards just in case. I don't think we're going to get out of this in 1 round. Well, maybe we are. I was thinking that the Spade King is what got us more than enough last time, but I also forgot we had Smiley Face. All right, all face cards are drawn face down, which isn't going to be too bad. We'll go ahead and get reroll surplus and open this up. Give us more lucky cards. And we'll open our pack to see. Now it's a polychrome lucky card or a holographic card, but those are so low that I don't like adding cards that low to my deck unless I'm playing a different deck. I'm going to skip coupon. And then let's see. So I'm going to add Empress to those. Get some planet cards. And I'm going to play our lucky card first and see what we get. All right, and we got plus 20 multi 2 times, so that is more than enough. And playing it first on Hanging Chad means that we have more opportunity to get those lucky cards. So we got the Egg, Judgment to create a random Joker, Raised Fist, which are all wonderful Jokers. I just don't want to sell what I currently have. I'm going to pass on those 2. So, Lucky Cat, I'm going to sell. To look at what's coming up, all face cards are drawn face down. I am going to sell Wrathful still. I'm going to get Lucky Cat just because we have so many lucky cards. I should have used. I keep forgetting to use Judgment when I have an open Joker slot, but that's okay. Go ahead and get Full House since we did have coupon to make everything cheaper. And go ahead to the next round. All right. So we do have a 2 pair. I think I am going to make our Ace Glass to see what that does for us. And he broke, of course. All right, so now we have 4 face cards. I'm going to go ahead and play them. And we ended up getting a 2 pair, which is nice. Very nice. Almost 100,000. All right. All hearts are debuffed. We can handle that. I'm still going to keep opening up my buffoon packs. That's a love the heart emoji you sent. That's a lot of fun. I think based off of our current lineup, I'm gonna pass on those. And let's see. We haven't played any flushes, so I'll go ahead and level up our straight. Get some turrets to get a little bit more money. And I'm going to skip to get a double tag. One of the things that, as you're playing Balatro, and even though I have a pair, I'm going to get rid of those, is it's really important to try and get scaling jokers, so jokers that help you grow as you do certain things. So like Lucky Cat, anytime we have a lucky card that like triggers successfully, that'll go up in value. And so especially once you start getting to the more advanced rounds or stakes, it's very important to try and get those scaling jokers. And so like even though I probably won't win on this hand, like I wanted to play that so he triggered twice, so he grew by 0.5. And because I played a 2-pair, my card sharp will work this time as well. And so Lucky Cat got upgraded again, which is really nice. You always want to, especially your times multi jokers, it's very helpful to get those to level up as much as you can. I've been in games where I have made it by the skin of my teeth because I've gotten lucky with like Photochad, which it's called when they're used in combination. But if you don't have a scaling multi-joker, it's sometimes very, very difficult to win. Right, we'll re-roll. So like Spare Trousers is a great plus multi-scaling joker, but because we got him in ante-6, even though we've been playing a bunch of 2-pairs, he's not going to start going up in value for a while. He's a good one to get at the very beginning. We'll get that, and so we do have a straight. I'm going to go ahead and play that and put one of my lucky cards first. We upgraded Lucky Cat twice, and so we got through in one hand, which is really nice. We didn't even have to use face cards. All right, the tooth is coming up. Lose $1 per card played. And level up Pluto. Level up Uranus. And gonna pass on both of those. And I'm gonna buy the Fool, but not use it yet, to see if I can get something a little bit more useful. Get rid of those. So we do have another 2-pair, and we do have a lucky card. So upgrade Lucky Cat again. Very nice. All right, so we got a negative joker, which means that even though my joker slots are full, I can get him and he doesn't take up a joker slot. And I'm going to make sure to move him to the left because I always put my plus multi jokers first and then my times multi. Photograph is a times multi in your hand, same, and smiley face is plus multi in your hand, and then these crazy is a plus multi overall, and then these are times multi overall. So I like to, yeah, PEMDAS, order of operations, order of Jimbos. Make sure that they're in the optimal order for you. I love it. And hey, Default, thank you so much for joining. I'm going to give a shout out to Default as well. Default is the first person to raid into my stream and has been a big supporter and check out her stream sometime. She's fantastic, welcoming, and very supportive. And so I feel very lucky to have found such wonderful people in this community because you all are just fantastic. So you are very important. And Default, make sure to check out DC Zoe as well. Zoe invited me to be a part of his community today, and it's such a warm and welcoming community that is fantastic. Make sure to check him out as well. Lots of love and support all around, and so I really appreciate everyone being here for me and supporting me. All right, we'll put our gold seal on our talisman, or sorry, on our jack, and we'll wait to see if we want to use that. Let's see, lose $1 per card played. I think I'm going to skip then and not buy any of those, even though I love to play Wheel of Fortune. All right, so we do have a 2-pair, but we also let's go ahead and play that. See what we can do with that. I feel like I found like the most wonderful like group of people on Twitch. Y'all are so nice and so kind, and I really appreciate it. All right, 1 card always selected. That's fine. We'll go ahead and level up our 2-pair. Track good eggs. I like to think so. I like to, or I hope that I don't know. I just enjoy supporting other people that I think are doing a great job and like are kind to other people and are just all around good people. And so it's very easy to support people who are like that. I'm gonna level up my flush just in case. I always start my streams with one good thing. I was inspired by someone on Blue Sky who likes to share their one good thing of the day, and I did say at the very beginning that I had a couple of my one good things because I had one yesterday that came up yesterday, and I was going to share that, but I also wanted to share about the DC community that Zoe invited me to. So please share if you have one good thing that you would like to share with everybody. Feel free to not if you don't want to, that's fine. But I also wanted to share, I was really excited about this, that yesterday I got Completionist Plus on Balatro on my phone. Obviously, I'm not anywhere close to that here yet, but yeah, I was super stoked about that. And then got invited to an awesome community. And I don't know, Default, I know you messaged me earlier. I don't know if you want to share anything about that or not. That's up to you. But please feel free to plug that too if you want to share that, or if you want to wait, that's fine too. Awesome. Share a bit. You want to keep it mostly under wraps, but you're planning a multi-streamer show. It is fantastic. I love the concept, and I'm excited to see it in action. It is such a cool idea. All right, so driver's license. We no longer have our learner's permit and have our driver's license because we have enough enhanced cards. And so I'm actually going to swap out Card Sharp because that I have to play the same hand twice, which, especially with Cerulean Bell coming up, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Zoe, your one good thing was you got some well-needed news about your community. You were very stressed about almost potentially having to start over from scratch, but as you were able to get it sorted out after many months of trying. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you got that sorted out. I can't imagine, that probably was a lot of stress, but I'm so glad you didn't have to start over from scratch because it is a fantastic community. All right. We're going to sell Smiley Face, and we got to get Cavendish. Like, look at this, times 3, times 5, times 3. And Default, one good thing for today is that you finished the 3D model for a custom wall mount for your monitor to make it vertical. That is really cool. Oh, thank you, Zoe, besides meeting all of us. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, got a very talented group of individuals here, and I'm very lucky to call y'all friends and that I'm part of your all's communities. All right, I'm gonna sell just because lucky cards. Got to build up that lucky cat a little bit. All right. Oh, the remix is done, which was a few days ago, but you're surprised at how good it turned out. It did turn out really well. It was really fun to listen to. All right, so this should be more than enough with all of our jokers to get us a win. with almost 2 milli, and we unlocked a Joker. So let's switch over to the nerd sheet and grab our end time. I can imagine being being almost broken internally, being a few from 1,000 members trying to start over. That would be awful. Like I'm so glad that you got that sorted out because it is an amazing community, like so supportive of each other, so encouraging, so uplifting, and it makes me sad to hear that you had to go through that, but really happy to know that you got it sorted out. Um, because everybody is incredible. I was able to check out. I'm still learning names, but the birthday stream from earlier, which was a lot of fun. I did have to hop off for some work meetings, but they the stream was really everyone was so nice and so uplifting, and so I'm glad I got to check that out, and I will definitely be checking out more. Um, so we made it to 921. Oops, not 211. Don't think I'll ever get there. We were not defeated, and we had $9 left. And let's see, we had hanging Chad, photograph. I gotta remember what the straight one is. Driver's license, Lucky Cat, and Cavendish. Yes, an explosion of followers. Yes, a lot of that is thanks to Zoe, and some of the networking that I've been trying to do. Um, you all may not realize it, but I am a shy introvert, and so networking is not my strong suit. The Zoe effect, I love it. Um, so networking is not my strong suit. So I really appreciate everything that you all have done to support me. Um, and I gotta remember this Joker name. I can't remember what it's called, and I can look that up later. But I am done for the day. I am very tired, but I would love if there is a stream that I could raid into that either Zoe or um, Default, if you have anyone you recommend that I um, raid into. I am going to switch over to my end stream. I'm not screaming, um, and end it for YouTube. But would love to know if there's anyone in particular streaming right now that we can raid into.